Good morning. This is Jack from Charlton Markets, and this is the pre-market webinar for the morning of Thursday, the 4th of December. My disclaimer: I do this for educational purposes only. I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some of what I'm doing, learn from it, transfer it, your own chance. I'm not here to issue trading signals. This is a video for paying subscribers at chartingthemarkets.substack.com. It's published on YouTube up to delay of 24 hours. Right. Okay. Now, I was talking about yesterday the possibility we might come back up here and set up some double tops. Now, these look less good on the RTH charts, but nice looking little level top here on the ES chart. We got another one on the NQ chart. We've got another one on the RTY chart, not so much on the YM chart. We have a lovely one on the DAX chart, and I'll be coming back to this one. ESTX, a small one here too. So we've got a series of nice looking little level tops here, and we could find that these break down and deliver what would be pretty modest retracements. And I'm wondering about that. I'm also considering the possibility of a larger retracement here, and I'll explain why that is. All right, let's have a look at the bigger picture charts. Okay, yes, we made a higher high here. We've got a possible daily RSI 5 sell signal break. Now, I'm just saying it is possible. Obviously, it hasn't broken down yet, but I'm wondering if it might. On the Qs, we don't have any negative divergence here. On Dia, we've got a very nice possible daily RSI 5 sell signal brewing, and we've got another one on IWM. Now, I just wanted to, I'll talk about the possibilities here, because it could be, of course, I have mentioned yesterday or the day before the possibility that we could go A, B, C. And I got to say, one of the things I'm watching here is DAX. DAX is still struggling to get back over the daily middle band. We have still got a weak RSI 14 sell signal here, albeit it's already reached possible near miss target. But here, I am very much wondering whether we might see a retest of this low here. And if you have a look at the what we're looking at on the DAX chart here, of course, we've got a double top, and where would the target be? Well, that would be at a retest of the low. I'm wondering if we might do that. And I'm wondering about these possible daily sell signals, which could propel a move down. Now, this is just a possibility, and not necessarily the most likely possibility, but I'm just throwing it out there as a possibility because it's possible we might see some news and see a hard breakdown, and we could then go and do this. We don't necessarily need lower lows on IWM and the other US indices. Possible we could be forming triangles, for instance, but I am wondering whether we could see an early fail here. We do have some divergence that might suggest that that is a possibility. All right, looking at the 60-minute charts, obviously we've got a few 60-minute sell signals here. We've got a weak RSI 14 sell signal fixed here on IWM. Okay, looking little double bottom here. Not a lot to see on, I mean, we've got a sell signal here that's reached possible near miss target, and I'm going to sign that off because we've managed to get back to the 70 level, and we've got a possible RSI 5 sell signal brewing. It's not a lot to hang your hat on. I'm mainly looking at the daily sell signals and all the fixed hourly sell signals. If we have a look at the hourly sell signals on the others, looking at SPX, got an RSI 14 sell signal fixed. I think we got another one on Qs as well. Yep, we've now got an RSI 14 sell signal fixed and an RSI 5 sell signal fixed. On Dia, we've got an RSI 14 sell signal fixed as well. These aren't bad signals, and I've got to say, with the backup of the daily sell signals here, there is the potential for a pretty hard fail here if we were to play out these little level tops that we've got here and then keep on going. We could then get a whole load of daily RSI 5 sell signals fixing there, and we'd have a possibility either of making lower lows or making a higher low that could be part of an overall bullish triangle. We'll see how it goes, but I just wanted to raise the possibility because that was raised by the retest of the highs and the setting up of the daily negative divergence on the RSI 5s yesterday. All right, just Doug, what are you particularly interested in today if you've got to run early? Are there IHSs on YM and NQ? Well, let's have a look. No, absolutely not. And the reason is that if the neckline would be basically across here. I think that's the one you're talking about. It's just too big. There's no realistic way that can be an IHS because it dominates the trend from the preceding high, and exactly the same on YM. Although I'm not really even seeing a left shoulder on YM. Possibly we could have had one here, but that's a very muted right shoulder. So arguably we could have one that fixed here, but it's not very high quality. So personally, I'd give that a no, and I hadn't even considered it here because the right shoulder is just so low, just so small. All right, looking at DX. Now, DX, we're at an inflection point here. Yep, no worries, mate. We're at an inflection point here where we've got this double top and we've broken down from it. We've got a possible 60-minute buy signal brewing. We've got a target down in the 97.37 to 97.47 area. And we may go and get it, but we've got an opportunity here to reject back up to the high, and we might do that. And I've got to say, on USD, where we've got this lovely bear flag now, and obviously a 60-minute sell signal has already fixed. We got a little double top here which is trying to break down. This, I'm thinking we could see a retest of the low here on Euro, and we could see a retest of the high on DX. So waiting to see whether we get that turn. Not a lot on the other currency pairs to support it, but Euro is the main one. That is 57% of the dollar index. All right, looking at ZB, heading a little lower here. 60-minute buy signal reached possible near miss target. On ZN, we've got obviously a nice looking overall double top. If we were to break down below this trend line here, we could actually start a move down, which could be significant. Looking at CL, obviously the Ukrainians are quite seriously bombing the Russians in terms of where the shadow fleet and means of selling oil, and that is affecting the oil price. Not a huge amount so far. I'm still wondering about a retest of the low, but every time the Ukrainians hit something which could cut off some Russian oil supply from the world market, obviously that is actually bumping up the price a bit. So we'll see how that goes. We've still got this double bottom in the 60.75 area, 60.61.15 area, and I'm still leaning towards that making target. HO, nice looking little double bottom here. RBOB could be forming a little double bottom to take us back up and to retest this high. We've already made the first of the two double bottom targets on NQ. Still pushing up a bit, and I'm wondering whether this is a breakout. We've got a possible double top here, but it's deteriorating as NG goes higher. Still on a 60-minute sell signal. On GC, GC, we've made a higher high here. We had a sell signal that's made target. I'm still leaning towards the upside, but I would say that on SI we've got we made a sell signal. We had a sell signal that's made target, and we've got a nice looking double top here, which is breaking down with a target in the 54.7 area. Looking at Palladium. Still got a double bottom, which is still trying to break up, and we're still holding support at the monthly pivots. On Platinum, still holding the monthly pivot as support. That's quite important support, I think. On HG, we have a no current divergence. This is a deteriorating double top setup as we go higher. I'm wondering whether this might be the start of a breakout to the upside. All right, looking at KC. KC, we've got still kicking around the monthly pivot. We haven't got a clear direction on coming from this, although if it stays below the monthly pivot, that will give us one. Looking at SB. SB, I'm still liking this double bottom target in the 15.43 area. Below the monthly pivot, which is slightly worrying. If we continue going down, then that's going to make increase the odds, obviously, we're failing to reach that target. CC, wondering about bottoming action here, but nothing particularly clear. CT could well be forming inverted head and shoulders here. I'm wondering about that. But if that was the case, the IHS neckline would be here. Bear with me a second. Sometimes it is awkward. All right, that would be the IHS neckline. So if we are forming an IHS, that's it. Ideal right shoulder low would be here, which would be in the 63.75 area. On lumber, I was looking for a retest of the low. We've seen it. We've got a potential double bottom here, and I'm quite liking that for a rally. So we've still got a 60-minute buy signal, but that's already reached possible near miss target, and I'll probably sign that off. All right, CW, nice looking double bottom here. Hasn't broken up yet on corn. seeing a bit of a pullback here. I'm leaning towards the upside really on both wheat and corn. On soy, we've got a nice looking head and shoulders here. I was talking about this yesterday, and this is now broken down with the target in the 1058.75 area. On ZL, we've got a week 6-minute buy signal fixed, and we could be just about set up a full size one. On live cattle, possible IHS forming here, and we've just reached the neckline. If it pulls back from here rather than the next one higher, then the ideal right shoulder low would be in the 215 area. And lean hogs, still looking for a reversal pattern here, and we've got a double bottom, which has got an open double bottom with a target in the 83.3 to 83.6 area. Expecting to see that next, and wondering if that might be the top larger bottoming pattern there at either asymmetric double bottom resistance or possible IHS neckline. All right, great. Let's have a quick look at questions. All right, no questions in that case. I think that's a wrap. I'm watching with great interest to see what happens here on equities. There, if we are going to see a hard breakdown, which would still be part of an overall bullish pattern, but could still obviously take us down a couple of hundred handles. This would be the place to see it, and I'm watching with interest to see whether we see that here. All right, great. In that case, that's a wrap. Everyone take care, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow.